relatively simple and straightforward aren't always that case, because the Prime Minister has always acted in the national interest, and this is her opportunity to share some of the data.
So are you hopeful then between the Prime Minister and
Well, it's not just talks with the Prime Minister and Jeremy Corbyn, because we know there are major splits in the Labour Party, where Jeremy Corbyn doesn't appear to want a second referendum. Many of his colleagues do want a referendum. It'll be interesting now to see as to whether he agrees with calling a referendum as his party policy dictates, or whether he will start to distance himself from the membership of the parliamentary party as well as the membership of the party itself. But let's be open-minded. The Prime Minister, acting in the national interest, is seeking to extend that reach across the party divide as well as across the Conservative benches, to seek to come to an agreement where everything is a compromise, because everything is a negotiation. But clearly we need a deal in order to leave the European Union, to leave it in the smoothest possible way, so that we have those new opportunities thereafter.
And then finally, just on the second referendum, what's your message to the Welsh Government and to the Welsh Labour Party?
Well, I would say to anyone who is asking for a second referendum to realise that we've had a referendum. There was a conclusion to that referendum, and on that basis they would be ignoring the instruction that's been given from the public, and that will be from communities in Barry in my constituency, to Blaenau Gwent in the valleys, to Bangor in North Wales. People in those areas voted to leave the European Union. There will be people who voted to remain, but my experience is the vast majority of Remainers accept the outcome of the referendum. We voted as one nation, and we need to leave as one nation.
And then another message to those in your own party who will be opting more for voting for
Well, there will be genuinely held concerns across all parties on Brexit. It's been an issue that has split the nation. It has split views in all different parties across the House of Commons, and that's why the Prime Minister is acting in the national interest to try and bring everyone together. It's time, if Parliament came together, the nation has a much better chance of coming together. I'm looking forward for the opportunities that leaving the European Union will provide, in spite of having voted to remain. But I'm also looking forward to further developing policies around defence, around health, around education, around developing the economy. That's where I want to spend most of my time, rather than dealing on some Brexit issues. Pleasure. Thanks very much. Yeah? Aaron? No, anem ymlaen.
Nice, are you?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks very much, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, thanks.
Oh, hi Ash, how you doing, mate? All right.
So that was one of the Welsh MPs, and he was a Remainer. And basically what they are saying is that even as a Remainer, he was looking to leave get the best out of the EU, or leaving the EU, and he doesn't think that a second referendum, even he is a Remainer, would be in the best interest of the country. But let's see if we can get some more MPs and speak to them and find out what's actually happening here. Let's go down. Did the SNP vote in favour of the
No.
Thank you very much for your time.
It's bad up there, eh? Quite intending you need to do it with us now.
Well, he's got a meeting at 8 o'clock, so, but I mean, it's not like, to be honest, the other summits plus stuff. So, I'm not entirely sure. So, I mean, I know the other stuff's plus stuff, but I know, for example, like, Five Live, LBC,
It's-
Radio, CNN, but it's kind of whether you, I don't know.
Is the SNP announced if we're going to have a second referendum? Is that officially announced today?
Well, I
It
think
said on
I'm
the,
sure what's
said
going
on
on.
the,
Nicola said she'd do an update in a few weeks.
was that an update in a few weeks?
No, I just have to look back at the words. It's online.
I saw online, but it looked like she said that she was going to have a second referendum.
No, she says that she'll be bringing things forward in a few weeks because obviously you need a Section 30 order.
What does Theresa May have to actually say that they're going to leave?
Well, you'd have to seek a Section 30 order.
From here, yeah.
Yeah.
And is that likely to be passed then? Because Theresa May's already said that they're not
Give me a
prepared to
second.
actually do that.
George have an email.
So far.
So, what, and she's not going to wait until she finds out what the deal is?
Sorry, I don't
Yeah.
but I just need to see.
Yeah. So
So, quite interesting. So, not a second referendum in Scotland yet. So that's quite interesting. So potentially in a couple of weeks that that Nicola Sturgeon is going to look for Theresa May to actually come back into Parliament and find out if Nicola Sturgeon can get a second referendum. Seems an incredible time because we obviously don't know what the deal is that Theresa May can potentially put forward. So we don't know what's going to happen here. So it's very, very strange. So are we going to have a second referendum for the EU? Are we going to have a second referendum for Scottish independence? And Nicola Sturgeon wants to do it in 2 weeks. So unless Theresa May comes back with the deal within 2 weeks, then how are we going to find out what it is that Theresa May's deal is going to be to actually then be able to vote in a second referendum? It's very, very strange. I wish we could get some confirmation from the SNP.
It's not, I mean, look, if the government comes back and says, that's what that's it, possession. I think it's an opportunity to stay.
So it looks like the SNP are wanting to take no deal off the table as well. So it's not just Jeremy Corbyn that's wanting to take the no deal off the table. It's also the SNP now are wanting to take no deal off the table. I don't understand how that's representing the million Scots have voted to stay in the UK, so or leave the EU. So I don't know how that's working, but. I mean, they're not really representing those individuals. So all seems a bit strange. It's really Jeremy Corbyn now, and also the leader of the SNP in Scotland, from Scotland in Westminster, is now wanting to take no deal off the table. Some members of the Conservative Party, Anna Soubry, is also wanting to take no deal off the table. So that means there's a soft Brexit. They're basically looking for a soft Brexit and potentially keep us out within the European, the single market and the customs union, which means we wouldn't be able to make international trade deals. It's just in a complete. The SNP are basically not representing the million Scots who voted for Brexit, and they're wanting this soft Brexit, which is not essentially leaving the European Union. It means we're going to have to be liable for still the rules and regulations, and we're not going to have any say in this making of these rules and regulations. It's just an incredible situation. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it.